Hey girl, come play with my joystick.
I don't touch those little thumb pads.
Hey guys, Maxis here with a look at the new Need for Speed game from Criterion Games. They're doing a new version of Need for Speed Most Wanted, and I have to say, wow, does this game look great. Out of all of my friends, I've always been the one into racing games, and they've always said I was crazy for liking them. They also think I'm nuts for liking NASCAR too, but that's beside the point. So let's take a look at some in-game footage. The goal of this game is to take on the city's top 10 most wanted drivers, beat them, and take their cars. This race is from Most Wanted number 9. I'll be driving this little Sportster called a Speedwall, and the Most Wanted is in a Shelby Cobra 427. Now, if any of you played the earlier versions of Most Wanted, they had a story behind each driver that at least gave the game some personality. This game lacks that completely. The Most Wanted drivers are just a list of cars that you get a chance to race as you gather more speed points. Now, one feature of Most Wanted that is carried over from the earlier games would be the cops pursuing. It's a fun feature that makes you run like hell from a pack of cops trying to wreck you over and over and over until you finally get trapped and busted. Now, the first thing that stood out to me about this feature was just how aggressive the cops were. They don't just attempt a traditional pit maneuver, but they just bash the hell out of you with reckless abandon. Now, I also noticed that with the other drivers you're racing, they're the same way. They do like to beat on you quite a bit more than a normal racer would, but we'll touch on that here in a little bit. The visuals of this game are absolutely amazing. This is one of the best looking racing games I've seen in a long time. I'm very impressed with how well the game runs, and with everything going on, I haven't ran into any lag or frame rate stutter yet. So at this point, I've been playing the game for a while, and I've had this feeling that, I've played this game somewhere before. Now, of course, you'll get people saying that all racing games are the same. It's Burnout Paradise. No, really, this is Burnout Paradise. I decided to go back and grab some footage of Burnout Paradise just to show you guys how similar these games are. This race is called Takedowns, and the objective is to wreck a certain amount of your competition and to, of course, not get wrecked. Now, I don't have any issues with the wrecking part, but one thing I did notice was that the other drivers were very aggressive with each other, but not really with you. Now, coming from a game that is all about big crashes and aggressive driving, isn't that a bit odd? I mean, watch them. They will beat and bang all over each other, but hardly ever touch me. As you can see, I'll just drive right past them without the slightest bit of contact. I think I'm onto something here. This is when it hits me. These games are the same game, just with a different skin. Both involve driving around in an open city, and when you find a race, you hit the brakes and the gas at the same time, and you start the race. Both games have you jumping through billboards and speeding through gas stations for a quick repair to your car. Oh, did I mention both games are made by Criterion Games? Yeah, how convenient. So here's another example from Burnout Paradise. This is a sprint race where you're up against 6 other drivers going from point A to point B. Pretty straightforward if you ask me. Drive fast and pass everyone you can. With Burnout, you can just hold down the throttle and go. Now, I did have one other driver decided to ram into me, and ouch, he did get a little crunched up. It's a mad dash for the finish line. I'm in there in first place. Too easy, right? Okay, let's go back to Most Wanted. Now this one, it's a circuit race. You have to follow a certain course for a certain amount of laps and be the first one back to the finish line. Again, simple concept, but it's easier said than done. I noticed a much more aggressive tone with this race. You're flying off the road, through parks, over jumps, there's beating and banging going on, with the competition being very, very aggressive. I think Criterion got these games backward. Most Wanted should be about street racing and avoiding the cops. Burnout Paradise was about going fast and crashing in the most insane way possible. Another thing I noticed about the games, where Burnout Paradise is an arcade racer, its controls are very free. It's easy to turn the cars and they don't really over or understeer very much. With Most Wanted, it's the exact opposite. The controls are very stiff and the cars feel like they handle the way the real car would when turning. There's a lot of over and understeer, which as a racer I usually don't complain about, except this game plays more like an arcade racer than a sim racer. In my opinion, this leads to not a lot of fun. Because not only do you have to worry about how the car handles, you also have to worry about some crazy AI trying to wreck you at all costs. Now, I'm not going to write this game off as a bad game. It's got its good points, and I'll probably play through to the end. I do kind of like how you pick up the new cars. You basically get to drive up to one of the cars on the road, and you can jack it. Guess that's better than having to earn money and buy it, right? Once I get more cars and more customization options, I'll come back and revisit that. Well, that's it, folks. Make sure you leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts on Most Wanted or just about racing in general. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and also share this with your friends. Get the word out there that the gameless wonders have no game.